All right, everybody, welcome to the Big Blue Dynasty series here on Madden 26. We are in the off season or postseason now for the 2025 year, and we ended up falling 5-12 after the simulation. What I did is I started in week 11. It allowed me to just kind of roll from that point. If you start in the weekly update rosters, you get the most up-to-date transactions that occur plus the draft picks. If you just start with updated roster and you go to the beginning of the year, you do not get those draft picks. So that's why I always go for the weekly rosters versus starting over from the beginning of the year. Because this team is in such a freaking in shambles, I did not want to start in week 11 or week 10 or whatever. I just wanted to sim and then see where we went. So when we simulated, the Giants ended 5-12, which wasn't too bad for us. I think it allowed us to kind of make sense. I could see that happening with Kafka's interim coaching, and you know, maybe he'll find another home somewhere else. But we decided to look. I did my research on who could possibly be it. There's definitely a mixture of everyone wanting to go back to nostalgia and grabbing coaches of old and things like that. To me, I would prefer to just go and continue to work through players, people that are kind of on the rise and have a good offensive mind that can help with Jackson Dart and the rest of the offense, but also just allow us to move forward. So I went with Klint Kubiak. I mean, John Gruden was really up there for me. I just didn't see it. I don't see how he's going to work. I don't see how he's going to do it. It just didn't make sense. McCarthy, I mean, kind of, but again, it's like McCarthy has to understand that he's only there to just set the foundation, and he will never see probably where this team will end up in a year or two. Like, I mean, after 2 years of being the head coach, because what will probably happen is he'll set it up, we'll be prepped, our team will get strong, but then Joe Shane will probably get fired, and then when that happens, you know, GM wants to hire their own coach. So for me, I just feel like you continue to focus on these guys that have good, knowledge trees, right? These guys come from good places. Kubiak is the McVay-Shanahan group, so I think that was kind of neat. I also looked up potential, like, if Kubiak ends up being the head coach, who could potentially be the OC or the DC for this team. And there's a tie to the 49ers, right, with Shanahan McVay kind of deal. So I went with the 49ers skill tree. So we're going to be using Kyle Shanahan's defensive playbook, which is a 4-3 cover 3. And then we're going to be using a West Coast zone run, which fits the Seattle Seahawks currently offensive playbook. So those are the two books that we're going to work through, and hopefully it kind of gets done there. As we move further into this series, we will not be showing any highlights of the preseason. It just doesn't really work out for me. I don't really have a lot of fun with it. If I stream more, maybe I would do it, but I just don't stream anymore. So we'll see where we're at. When you look at this roster before we get Kubiak involved, there's a lot to still be worked out, right? You got Andrew Thomas there, who hopefully can continue to stay healthy. He's only 26 years old, so you don't give up on a player like that. You hope he kind of continues to work through it. John Runyan, I mean, he's been viable. I think people hate on this guy. $10 million for a freaking guard is nothing, and the guy played well. And under Carmelo, I mean, the team's done well. Or is it Carmelo or Cirillo? But the OC, the O-line coach has been awesome. JMS has been playing well. Van Ron's a little older. We got to figure that out. And we got to really think about this signing here with Illuminor. The tight end group, you know, a lot to be learned. A year and 4. I think Bellinger has found his way to a certain extent, but we got to figure out, you know, are we going to be able to sign him? Wan'Dale Robinson's also up for re-signing. I mean, he's not a bad wide receiver, but the dude's 5'8", 185. I just don't know how much of a usage that's going to be for us. You do have a pretty decent route runner over there in Seattle, right? But Jackson Smith-Njigba is the one. Cooper Kupp played the routes and he was okay, but you wanted a very versatile tight end, which we do have. and that kind of fits that offense there. I think you want a dominant wide receiver too, and I could definitely see us doing that in the draft. Darius Slayton just drops the ball too much. Jalen Hyatt, I don't see us keeping him down the road. He's just not the right fit. Now, defensively, man, oh man, there's been some really, really good players here. I like how these guys work out, and you know, maybe I got to figure this out. What if we moved someone like Abdul Carter to the Sam position, letting Kayvon Thibodeaux play there? Now, here's my other thing, right? Kayvon Thibodeaux's been playing decently. He's kind of gotten quiet lately, but here's my thing. He had 4.5 sacks, so he has dropped. He is on the 5th-year option, right? We got him on the 5th-year option. We don't have a 3rd-round pick. What if we traded Kayvon Thibodeaux for a 3rd-round pick? Got a player back or something like that potentially, but with how young Kayvon Thibodeaux is, imagine if we traded for him, traded him away, and rolled with our 2 guys. I mean, that wouldn't be a bad idea there. And then continue to build a linebacking group. I don't know. I'd love to stick with this 4 if I can. I'd really want to see what this 4 can do. This front 4, you know, with Kayvon, and, you know, maybe I even thought about moving Abdul Carter to the Sam linebacker position. I think he can play that, or he can play off ball. He can't play the mic, but I think Abdul Carter is a solid player, and he's a piece that you can move around. He did not do well when it came to sacks, but to be honest, this guy is way more than just that. I think he leads the league in pressures. Like him and Burns, they just always got near the QB. So the way I kind of look at it is to kind of get all the 4 on the field. If you moved him to the Sam position, what would that look like, right? Sam or Will, I think he played quite a bit of off ball towards the last end of his college season, but like an overload with Abdul Carter, now let's see what that would look like. Would he be solid there? Would he be a guy that could hold it down as the Sam? I mean, maybe. I think that would be kind of neat right there. Let's check it out. Let's see what that would look like. So he would not be a scheme fit, it looks like. Yeah, because we need to be pass coverage. I mean, what if we moved him to the Will, right? Let's see what that looks like. He's more of a run stopper, so maybe the Will fits him, which I looked at, you know, like I said, he played that in Penn State. So if you had him as a Will, could that help you out? And again, he's a run stopper, not it. So, I mean, technically he doesn't kind of fit the scheme. Oh, you know, we'll make it work. I think with Abdul Carter, the guy is a solid player across the board. So, you know, we're continuing to figure out how to kind of make all these pieces work. But I'm a fan of Abdul Carter. I think this guy, he's going to continue to be a dog, man. He's one of those prospects that you just cannot be you cannot be too you can't be excited enough about. I think this guy is a very good player. So ooh, and there we don't have superstar abilities on as well, and we'll talk through our settings on how we're looking at that too. So I just want to make sure everything's a skim fit. There's definitely some players on this team that you're just like, dude, we got to get rid of. Graham Gano is probably one of them. Jamie Gillen, maybe. I just don't know if that makes a whole lot of sense there. You do have to think about, right, Bobby Okereke, what happens to him? He's no longer a scheme fit. He's a field general. He's a little older. You know, do you move on from someone like Bobby Okereke? You look at the current defensive scheme right now in the Seahawks, and dude, they got a solid crew over there. Their linebackers are crazy. They move around. Is Okereke going to be good enough for that, or do we move on from him and find our own a new linebacker there? If you were to cut someone like Bobby Okereke, you know, I think in the offseason, because we're not there yet, I think we would be able to get some money back. But To do that would also mean like you'd have to fill that spot. You need to find a guy who can handle the green dot. So we'll look at that along the way there. These are our current settings. These are based on Mat 10 sliders, but the cooldowns and stuff are based on what I decide to do. 11-minute quarters, 15-minute acceleration. I like to do offensive cooldowns, 10 plays, with no more than 3 plays I can call in one game, the same play in one game. 7-play cooldown, 4 plays to be called on the defensive side. I kind of like how that feels there. Keep everything auto here. Auto progress on, I'd like to let the CPU kind of decide how that's going to work out. Ball hawks on, that's Mat 10 slider. Trade deadline, we will keep this on. We will keep it on in the free agent time. We'll keep it on from one stage to through the end of the stages. Like by the end of stage 3, we'll turn it off right before we advance to the recap, because what I'm seeing right now is the CPU is signing players and then trading them. It's like it's like a very user setup right there. Trade difficulty would be set to very hard. Free agency motivation set to very hard as well. I think that all makes sense. Wear and tear you keep off. It doesn't work, so you just kind of let that be the case there. Until they give you the settings within the game, you don't do it. You keep that off. Practice injury, all that's on. I don't turn on draft presentation because I don't think that's really great. I set it up here. As far as free agencies, it's 3, 5, and 10 because you can pick up to 3 players per phase. You get 3 phases per stage, so you have to 9 players if you can sign them all in the first stage, 15 players in the second, and 30 in the third. So you have plenty of opportunity there. CPU only firing, I just want to see what happens there. This is based on my current XP sliders, and I'll have those in the description as well, as far as the link within Operation Sports. To continue on with man test sliders, these are the current ones that are out there. Like I always recommend to check out his X account. I think it's really solid with how he sets it up there. He's currently working on some new updates. He's got a Trello board that's out there, so anytime he's updating it, you can actually see his updates up to the minute. So it's kind of neat there. We keep roughing the kicker off because they haven't figured that crap out yet. These are the XP sliders I use. I think these have been pretty solid so far. Never had any issues with them. I'm currently using these in the Sim series that I got, and I think they're fine. Nothing too crazy. I think they show exactly, some decent dispersion, I guess, of the spread of the players. So the overalls all kind of make sense. There's not too many crazy stats all around. Not a bunch of 99s running around. So we are in the wild card here, and this is where we're at, right? I want to make sure I talk through some of the players I edited, because I wanted to make sure I did that right. So when you look at the players edited here, these are the guys that I work through. We just showed Abdul Carter. I was just trying to mess with the space. I updated Daniel Jones, gave him star dev. I think that's gonna, and try to give him a contract. For some reason, any simulation that I've done, Daniel Jones always gets cut. They never keep him. Where in reality, they're going to keep Daniel Jones. I mean, he's going to get paid probably between 30 and 35, or maybe 30 to 37, which is around the Geno Smith, Sam Darnold range. But I think that's well worth it for them. And then just got to keep drafting. They don't have a first round picks, but you got Sauce Gardner, you got Kenny Moore. What more do you need on the cornerback space? You just got to figure out a way to re-sign Kwity Paye when he's ready to go. And you obviously let go of Anthony Richardson. So I try to give him an extra year just to see if I can get the Colts to keep him, because he keeps getting cut. These were things messing around as far as schemes and stuff. And like I said, with no superstar abilities on, this changing doesn't mess with it. Reduce the OVRs of these quarterbacks. Justin Fields, Deshaun Watson, Kyler Murray, Kelsey. For some reason in certain simulations, sometimes he retires, sometimes he goes into the free agency, which the chances of Kelsey leaving the Kansas City Chiefs is just like what would happen if Jason Kelsey, when he left the Eagles, he's not going to sign anywhere else. He's going to stick with it. So that's why I did what I did there. Like I said, I gave Daniel Jones a star dev. I reduced the devs traits on Kyler Murray. I think I gave him norm dev. He's just not there. And then Tua, for some reason, still has superstar dev. Kept him in star dev, but reduced them dramatically to see, you know, these are some teams that do need some new QBs. So we're going to go ahead and advance it, see who makes it, right? There are definitely some teams across the league that have made it. When you look at the AFC, the teams that made the playoffs, right? Patriots are the big dogs. Colts are right behind them. The Bills did their thing. Chiefs did their thing. Broncos, Jaguars barely made it. And then the Ravens, I 100% can see that. Stealing it from the Steelers and taking it away from Aaron Rodgers. In the NFC, the Eagles, number 1 seed, 100%. Lions finding their way. Buccaneers continue to do it. Rams are a strong team. Packers, I mean, they're kind of iffy out there. Niners do their, like Shanahan always figures it out. And then the Seahawks were very, very solid. So we'll advance it, see who makes what, and go from there. Now that we advanced it, let's see who made it. So the Colts beat the Jaguars 31-17 with Daniel Jones. Danny Dimes, Indiana Jones gets it done. 272 yards. He got sacked 4 times, but he threw a touchdown. Danny Jones ran a little bit, but it was freaking the man of the hour, Jonathan Taylor, carrying it. And the Jags defense with, you know, they're kind of weird right now. Broncos upset the Kansas City Chiefs. Is this the end of the Travis Kelce show? Perhaps. I mean, the Broncos have a really solid defense, and that's the way I can kind of see it. In real life, I could see some issues because Dobbins is actually out right now after a hip drop tackle. He's on the IR, and he'll probably be back by the playoffs, but it's cold, man. And this dude's gone through ACLs, Achilles, like, will he be ready? So the running game will take a dramatic drop, and how Bo Nix plays sometimes, it's weird. But he's got the guys, right? Sutton, Mims, Troy Franklin, his former wide receiver from Oregon. So it's a very good group. And, Kelsey got targeted, but it looks like it wasn't enough. So Mahomes is out. And then the Ravens lose to the Bills. I could see that. Bills have been just kind of just like sputtering throughout the year. They do not have a true number 1 wide receiver. I would expect the Bills to try to do that. You got Keon Coleman, you got Khalil Shakir, but in reality, they're not enough. If you could find a true wide receiver that could take you down, like take you to the promised land, like that'll help Josh Allen immensely. Their defense is getting older too. So like, what do you do with Matt Milano, Jordan Poyer? Do you just move on from them? The Lions lose to the Seahawks. I mean, I could see that. Like McDonald has been legit over there with that team. They are a scary bunch of guys over there in Seattle. And the Lions, right? They were the number 2 seed, but it could happen. I don't think their defense is healthy. And that could be the case. Buccaneers beat the brakes off the Niners. 100% could see that. I don't think the Niners defense is as scary as they once were because Fred Warner's not there. He's injured, but the Buccaneers offense finally gets healthy right on time, right? Mike Evans will be ready to roll. Maybe he's there, but I think that group, Tez Johnson, Emeka Egbuka, Cade Otton, they've all been playing very well. Rams beat the Packers. I could see that happening. I feel like this is the year. There's a chance Matt LaFleur is on the hot seat, and there's a chance Matt LaFleur could get fired. You have one of the greatest defenses ever assembled, and you just can't figure it out. It's sad. I mean, that DC solid over there, Halfley from Jersey native, but man, I think their offense looks like crap. I think LaFleur has a system, and Jordan Love doesn't fit the system. And rather than adapting to Jordan Love, I think the guy just is like, my system is my system, and you better win. And that's where McVay takes him out. So, this is actually a pretty solid looking postseason so far. Let's see who advances to the next stage right there, the conference championship. And there it is. Broncos upset the Patriots. Now, I could see that. I think Drake May has got great ability. That O-line's been solid, but that defense for the Broncos is dangerous. The Bills beat the brakes off the Colts. I mean, this is as far as I could see the Colts going. I can't see them making it that much further. I just don't think the defense is ready yet. I think the offense for the Colts, I mean, you got a solid group, right? Tyler Warren's a nice piece. Pierce is fine. Pittman's okay. Downs is okay. But you don't have like a true dog. And then the defense, I mean, Jermaine Pratt's fine, but like, I don't see anyone here outside of Gardner and then I think Grover. I don't even know if he's on this team anymore. Maybe he's injured. I think he is. Kwity Paye, maybe? Like, those are guys that I could be like, that's it. Everyone else. Oh, Grover Stewart. There it is. I like Grover Stewart, but, you know, you don't really have much after that. I think Buckner got hurt. I feel like that's another guy that I was just like, yeah, I think he got hurt. So it's not, you know, the Bills finally wake up. So it's the Bills and the Broncos. The Eagles beat the Seahawks there. Still plenty of time for McDonald, but making it to the divisional stage is really solid for I think it's his second year now. I think it's his second year too. That's kind of crazy. McDonald's good. We will head to the Pro Bowl here. So the Pro Bowl is here. I wonder what this means. We got coordinator's office. As I was walking by, how's it going? Seeing everyone celebrate, I was looking back at all the great performances this year. We would have a much different offense without him. Okay. So I guess I missed. Oh, I'm sure Jackson will appreciate whatever you come up. Oh, did he got recognized for something? Did he make the Pro Bowl? No way. Or did he maybe got Rookie of the Year? That'd be sweet. I'm looking at. I mean, did he make it? Did I miss it? No. Gibbs, Jacobs. I don't see any of my guys there. I'd be shocked. I mean, Thomas is the only one I could see making it in the tackle position on the O-line. Brian Burns making it. Love that. Burns is a dog. I don't see anybody else. DeMarcado. What the heck? But let's see who made it to the Super Bowl. It looks like the Bills. This is their time. And there's the upset. There is no chance for a back-to-back freaking champ. The Buccaneers with Baker Mayfield, let them know. And I could see this, dude. That offense, that OC is trash, bro. They need to bring in someone a little more innovative or just go straight heavy rush. But they are no touchdowns. I mean, Saquon Barkley, he must have got hurt. I don't see Saquon. What happened to Seattle? No Saquon. What the heck? They went without Saquon. That's a weird scenario there. Devonta Smith, A.J. Brown. Man, and A.J. Brown got paid. The Bills look to have woken up the beast. Josh Allen, 4 tutties, 273. Against the Broncos, the run game was balanced. I mean, Dawson Knox popped off. Where's Kincaid? Dude, are guys getting injured? I don't get it. But it's the Bills versus the Bucks, dude. Baker versus Josh. That is going to be a fun... That would be a fun Super Bowl. I would enjoy that. I don't want to see the Eagles. I mean, the Broncos would be all right. I just feel like they're kind of boring. But let's see what happened here, folks. So the MVP was Pat Mahomes. Drake May, I could definitely see up there. That makes a whole lot of sense. Dak Prescott is pretty solid. But Pat Mahomes, the MVP. Coach of the Year is Mike Vrabel. 100% see that happening. I mean, Steichen, I could see Vrabel, Steichen, and, oh, that's hilarious. Peyton's not in the game. I could see Vrabel, Steichen, Peyton, McVay. I don't see Sirianni doing it again, but I mean, Vrabel winning that is legit. Let's see who won on the NFC side. Offensive player of the year, Puka Nacua, 100%. Defensive player of the year, Byron Young over Brian Burns. That must have been the sack stuff. Brian Burns did not win it. Offensive rookie of the year, Dart was there, bro. Emeka Egbuka is the man of the hour. Defensive rookie of the year, Nick Scorton. I would think Xavier Watts. I don't think Sanker. Jalen Walker I could see. But like Xavier Watts, I always hear that dude's name everywhere. Jahad Campbell's solid. I mean, the Cardinals are figuring it out too. And Mikael Williams would be on this list for sure if he didn't get injured. Eman Wari, that dude's always running around. Jalen Hurts, best quarterback. Okay. Saquon Barkley, best wide running back. Wow. Best wide receiver, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Best O-lineman, Penei Sewell, Lane Johnson. Best D-line is Byron Young over Brian Burns. Jack Campbell there, solid. Best DB, Kevin Byard. What? That's crazy. Best kicker is Panero. Okay. Wow, dude. Well, let's see who the rookie of the year was on the AFC side. I want to see that. So Jonathan Taylor, Myles Garrett, Quinshon Judkins. I mean, there's a chance right now. I could see Tyler Warren, dude. I think Tyler Warren's a dog. And this one's wild. I don't see that. I'd see Barrett Carter because of how many times. Malachi Starks has gotten some more picks. Johnny Barron, he was injured. I don't, man, there isn't too many. Maybe he could. That's crazy. Oh my gosh. So we will advance it now, see where they stand when it comes to the Super Bowl. So the Super Bowl champions are the Buffalo Bills. First time champions right there. Josh Allen finally gets over the hump and wins a big one here, 31-10. It just looks like the Buccaneers just didn't have enough left. They beat the brakes out of everyone else. I mean, you took out the champ. That's got to be exhausting. Now you take on a team that's just blowing up. And, I mean, they scored over 30 points the last 3 times I looked at their games. That's insane. So the champion is there. We'll go ahead and figure out the coaching carousel deal. Klint Kubiak's doing his own thing. We're going to go ahead and cut this guy. We're going to cut this guy. I really wish you could pick up real coordinators, but I'm assuming that's a licensing issue of trying to get like the same kind of dudes there. Offensive, Brian Dable, that'd be hilarious. Brian Callahan would be kind of neat. These are all these guys' abilities there. I mean, you start these guys from scratch. Why the heck not, dude? What is his deal? Yeah, development, offense. We'll hire Ryan Way. So we're gonna have a very young staff. Let's do it that way. I mean, this Craig Fancher guy looks freaking legit. But all the coordinators in my mind that I'm picking up, they're very new. So I say let's just do it that way. Start new, start a staff that can kind of work through it and be ready to roll. As far as the retirements, let's see who is gone. Laken Tomlinson, Jimmy Ward, Trent Brown, Danico Autry. Vikings lose Adam Thielen, Harrison Smith, Xavier Scott after 2 years. What the heck? Kevin Zeitler retiring. Darius Slay, Aaron Rodgers. A ton of Steelers. No Cam Hayward. He's staying. But Darius, Big Play Slay, and Aaron Rodgers are gone. Leonard Williams. Whoa. Cam Jordan, Taysom Hill, Demario Davis, Brandon Cooks. Chase Edmonds, Bobby Wags, Trace Way. I mean, these are all Von Miller. Makes sense. Zach Ertz, Austin Eckler. So they get to start over with that running back crew. That's smart. DeAndre Hopkins is done. Ooh, Stafford is staying another year. Holy crap. This is crazy. You got Graham Glasgow for the Lions retiring. Nick Folk, Tyrod Taylor, Ogba, Armstead. There's Russell Wilson, Van Rotten, Manhurts, and Crater gone. Trent Williams, he's finally done. Shaq Mason's done. Morstead. Kittle, what the hell? What a surprise. George Kittle is gone for the Niners. They're going to have some money. Oh my gosh. Brandon Graham is gone. Matthew Judon is retired. Jadeveon Clowney's gone. Travis Kelce, he is retired. Keenan Allen's retired. Calais Campbell. Kelvin Beachum. Levante David for the Bucks. No Mike Evans. Evans coming back. Do they cut him? Joe Batonio says, I am done with these Browns, bro. Deion Dawkins. Whoa, they need a new left tackle. That's going to change the landscape of the first round. Joe Flacco says, okay, stop bringing me back. Wow. Okay, let's check out what the mocks would say, right? Based on some things here in the offseason, the Saints would be the #1 overall pick, followed by the Titans. Caleb Downs for the Commanders. They got us going after a right tackle. Jets would take Dante Moore. Dolphin says we'll take Lenore Sell. This would actually be kind of neat. Jeremiah Love to the Vikings. The Raiders taking Fernando Mendoza. If he fell all the way there, I mean, Kenyon Sadiq to the Rams. Francis Maui Goa. I don't know about this move because they'll have Joe Alton Slater back, but maybe Slater's patella tendon, right? Maybe he's out longer. Avian Terrell there. Proctor left tackle. Caleb Lomu for the Ravens tackle. Arvell, oh my gosh. If Arvell Reese went to the Niners with Fred Warner, that's the 1-2 punch everyone would love to see right there. Holy hell. Olivega Loane. Oh man, that's a very good guard. Connor Liu. Christian Miller. Garrett Nussmeier. Yeah, this is just like they're just saying what would happen, like potentially, because they're not going to draft multiple QBs. Pretty cool right there. Let's get ourselves to the next stage. So we are in the stage right now where we're trying to figure out who we're going to keep, right? And you got some pretty solid players here. Cordell Flott, Wan'Dale Robinson, Banks, Belton, McFadden, Evan Neal, Bellinger, Ford Wheaton, Illuminor, and that is it. It's basically the two players that I want to bring back 100% would be Illuminor, Cordell Flott. Those are the two I want. Now, Cordell Flott's not asking for a lot at all. It's kind of crazy that he's not asking for a lot. Let me check something real quick. So I wanted to make sure that everything was set to very hard. So he's not asking for a lot as a 78 overall corner. Wan'Dale Robinson's the one who's asking for the bag. To give Wan'Dale Robinson a little over $12 million a year, you're basically saying, is he worth as much as what we paid Darius Slayton? I don't think so. Like, if I have to choose between two guys, it's going to be Cordell Flott and it's going to be Jermaine Illuminor. I'd love to get Jermaine Illuminor for that deal. I just don't know if he's going to come back for that deal. I think if we give him $14 million, that's more than fair. And that's what I'd like to do there. And he does not. So we do not get Jermaine Illuminor. So we got to figure out how we're going to do that, right? Do we spend our money in that space? Now, we also got Daniel Bellinger. We got Micah McFadden, right? McFadden's less than $5 million. He's not a scheme fit, though. We got to remember that, too. He's a run stopper, but I don't have any problem with that. I do want to look at Cordell Flott. Realistically, when you look at this guy right here, I think a 4-year deal makes a whole lot of sense. And, I mean, you pay him like, yeah, that's about $39 million for 4 years. I think that's a solid move. The dude deserves it. And we get Cordell Flott. Realistically, that's a good move for us. Now we got $20 million left. Do you sign McFadden? Do you sign Dane Belton? I mean, I think you try to figure out how to tweak that. We got Nubin. You just kind of figure out how to work through it. We need a new Mike linebacker. I mean, Daniel Bellinger, less than $5 million a year. If he'd like to come back, it just looks like We are a scheme fit. They're saying we don't have a franchise QB. I disagree there. I mean, I'll do that. 5 million, 2 years. He's going to go ahead and test the free agent market. Makes sense for Billy. McFadden doesn't really want to play for us. Wan'Dale Robinson's asking for a lot. So as much as I'd like to keep everybody, I don't think I can. If I were to franchise tag, it would be 27 million. Not going to happen. I mean, I don't think we're keeping anybody else. That's all we can get was Cordell Flott. That's insane. That is insane. As far as players across the league that did re-sign, right? Mike Evans, he's back. Harris Johnson gets a 5th year. Chanel gets a bag. Pacheco gets a bag. Hollywood gets a bag. Watson gets a bag. There is Javonte Williams getting a bag. So George Pickens did not get signed. Nolan Smith got the 5th year option. Eddie Pinheiro got an extension. Jack Campbell got his 5th year. Christian Gonzalez, same thing. These are all just make sense. Adam saw Stafford's back. He's going to roll with them. Wow. Wow. As far as players across the league that got released, Davis Mills, Blake Cashman. You look at, I'm just trying to see if there's anyone. Malik Harrison getting cut is kind of crazy. Jake Haener makes sense. Sam Hartman makes sense. Amani, dude. I remember when that guy got picked up by the Giants. You're like, dude, this is sick. Justin Hill's gone. Stenson Bennett's gone. Albert Okwuegbunam, Philip Dorsett. So Aiden O'Connell, he's gone. So you got some Brandon McManus, 100%. I could see that. Brock White, wow. Some of these Lions. The Jaguars, too. Nothing crazy. DeMarcus Robinson. I like to look at players that get cut because, I mean, you're talking about depth pieces here. Some of these guys wouldn't be that bad. I mean, George Pickens is going to be the... Oh, there it is. Anthony Richardson. There it is. Richardson, he gone. And then you're looking Will Disley. And Gadsden's kind of torn it up now. He's ready to roll. Okay. All right. Samaje Perine, I saw that late. So we got our guys there. I don't mess with the storylines. Storylines are dumb. So we'll just kind of keep it rolling here. So it looks like some additional players got retired. In the stage 1, it was Arthur Millette after 9 years. Looking forward to checking out these free agents. Let's kind of see where we stand here. So as far as quarterbacks, Mariota's out there. Dobbs, Minshew, Huntley, Richardson, Wilson, Teddy B. So there's some backup QBs here that can help us out, right? We got Jameis Winston, but you know who else could walk through it? Tyler Algier, top running back prospect out there. Not prospect, but top running back player out there. Brian Robinson is out there. I mean, Chubb. I got to update these along the way. So they like this game, I feel like Madden, they focus too much on the stats and not so much on the devs, and they just kind of keep everything as is. And realistically, like, some of these guys should not have star devs. It's just time. It's just the time is the time. They aren't who they were. I mean, maybe Chubb one more year after the injuries. Maybe next year he'll be better, but by that point, you know, RBs are, you know, you're in retirement home now when it comes to the RB age. So I think you always got to make sure you pay attention to that. I don't like free agents getting snagged up and kind of taking spaces for some of these teams that really need like youth in these positions there. Got Najee Harris out there looking for a new home. Rachaad White, Alvin Kamara, he actually gets cut. I mean, he said he'd retire before he would leave, but if the Saints don't want him, maybe it's a little bit of a vengeance. George Pickens is the #1 wide receiver out there, and everybody wants him. 12 offers already. That's freaking crazy. Let me do this. There's a little bit of a blur there. I don't like that. Is there a way to fix that? There it is. That was weird, dude. Weird background, huh? What are the wide receivers there? So Juju Smith-Schuster, you know, you got Kendrick Bourne, Taquan Thornton, Rondale Moore, Tyler Lockett still trying to keep playing football. Hunter Renfrow, Jalen Coker would be a really fun one. I think this guy, he's at a Holy Cross, small school, but pretty sure, yeah, he was an undrafted free agent, and he just kind of went off, got hurt, and then hasn't been able to get another chance since. You're looking at Isaiah Likely as the top tight end, and I'm going to fix this because Darren Waller should not be on this list. I think the chances of him playing football again are probably nil. So I'm going to reduce this guy as much as possible so he's not a part of the tight end group. It doesn't make sense for a 33-year-old tight end who retired, came back, got injured. Who's going to take a chance on that guy again? Yes, he's got some certain abilities, but I'm really not trying to see Darren Waller out there wrecking the free agent market. You got Hooper, Disley, Conklin is out there. Tonjes, he got cut from the Niners. That's kind of crazy. Left tackles that are out there: Christensen, Jedrick Wills, DJ Humphries, Trevor Penning. He was traded to the Chargers, but they just let him go. They're like, dude, we ain't signing you. Left guards that are out there: you got Tevin Jenkins, you got David Edwards, you got Austin Corbett, you got Isaiah Wynn, Reduce. These are players that would like to play for us. Center, I mean, JMS is getting better, but you want to have maybe some depth there. And I mean, Luke Fortner, I look for guys that have some that could really help us out just in case all hell breaks loose. Daniel Falaleli is the top right guard. Lucas Patrick is there as a right guard. Colton Strange, Dalton Reisner. I mean, I wouldn't be upset with someone like Reisner, man. And then Ricky Stromberg, I wanted him out of college. He's not bad either. So the right guard position's not great. We do not have a tackle. Jermaine Illuminor. He's a player that could work out. Havenstein leaves the Rams. Taylor Moton. You need to keep... Wow, McKivitz. I tried to extend McKivitz because they didn't have his contract. He got extended in September. They never added his contract in Madden. But McKivitz, 30 years old. He's solid. Andrew Wiley would be solid. There's some decent guys. Matt Pryor. Left edges: Abediki, Hassan Reddick, Ibukam, Epinesa. These are some really good players. Azeez Ojulari, bringing him back, that'd be hilarious. I mean, he's not that bad. He's only 26 years old. Defensive tackles: DJ Reader's out there, Poona Ford. You got Tyre Tart, decent DTs there. Khalil Mack is out there. This is one where, yes, Khalil Mack is good. Is he superstar good? I mean, he's 35 years old. Like, I mean, maybe star dev good. But, man, 35 years old, bro. I don't know what I would reduce, though. He's so good. But at 35, he's like, maybe reduce this a little bit. We'll do that. Let's see what that changes him to. Star dev. Yeah, I mean, he's still pretty solid. I just don't think superstar is where he should be at. That's just 35, bro. Jalen Phillips does not stay with the Eagles. So, I mean, they traded for him, but maybe they felt they had other pieces, and maybe he wanted to get paid. It does look like he doesn't like the cold weather, so I mean, we'll see where Phillips goes. Uchi's out there on him. Shaq Barrett's still playing, huh? Goodness. David Ojabo. I really like David Ojabo from the Ravens. Young player. I mean, he's got some quick. He's an athletic freak. Sam linebacker. We definitely need linebackers. You look at someone like Willie Gay. He wouldn't be a bad player. Not too many people want to play for us, though, just based on the scheme fit. Mike linebacker, right? Okereke is with us. Do you cut him? Do you not? How do you make it work? Nakobe Dean, very solid. Yeah, Cody Barton's out there. Logan Wilson, Eric Kendricks. I mean, it's Malik Harrison. That's a guy I would like to have on this team. Jack Sanborn's another one. Very good depth pieces right there. Kenneth Murray, another one. I'm going to reduce Devin Bush mainly because he's like he's like Deion Jones in Madden. Like, it's like he's fast, but no one uses him in real. Like, he's not like that in real life. No one's playing him. I mean, when he came out of college, everyone was pumped, but I just don't think that's right to have him as a high OBR there. Like, it's just some of this stuff, man, I'm gonna have to do like impromptu. I see it, I'm like, no, he's not being used. There was a reason why he's like, I see like McKivitz getting cut made 0 sense for the Niners. They let Trent Williams retired. Why would you let that guy go? You'd want to keep your O-line in order. So that's why I'm just like, really weird. I don't understand why they would do that, but they are doing what they. Ivan Pace would be fun as a will linebacker, but you'd have to pay him. He'd be the top of the depth for sure. Cole Holcomb's another one. I mean, you see some of these guys, Damone Clark coming over for the Cowboys. That would just be a move to just kind of. I like Christian Harris. I mean, if we spend money on a linebacker now, you're talking about a guy that could really work out there, but I mean, we also don't have to spend a whole lot, and Christian Harris is a scheme fit. That's pretty good right there. I like that. Cornerbacks, I mean, we got Cordell Flott for an extended period of time now. I'm happy about that. Let me fix this real quick because it looks like the background just got destroyed when you try to zoom in on people, I guess. You definitely still need depth, though. And you got guys like Jaquan McMillan that will like to play for us, or Kendall Fuller. I'd like someone like Josh Jobe out there coming over from the Seahawks, right? So Kubiak's got that tie to him. Why not? Kyer Elam. I mean, there was a lot of hype of him coming out of college, just never fit. Joshua Williams is a guy from the Chiefs. I think he could be a pretty solid player for us. That's a good young group right there. And I would not be upset about, I mean, pickups like that. You would help your team out and still continue to draft, but not bad there. There are some players. Chiefs let Brian Cook walk. Ronnie Hickman from the Browns walked. Malik Hooker from the Cowboys walked. Alohi Gilman left the Ravens. Justin Simmons is still out there. Justin Simmons a superstar, though? I mean, he didn't play a full, like, no one signed him. Anytime I see that, like, I feel like if a team doesn't sign him, like, there was a guy that played for the Dolphins, and for some reason, I couldn't believe it. Like, he was a Cowboys corner, went to the Dolphins, and then never played again. Like, he was on one season, and then he was gone. And it turns out, he said, like, in an article that he can't run, he can't jump anymore. He's got, like, no ability to do anything. I was like, why isn't he retired yet? So I feel like there's something going on with Justin Simmons where I'm like, I don't know. I mean, as his ability, it would be cool to have him as a Giant, but I just don't see that working out. Jalen Hawkins is out there. I mean, he's still decent, better than Darnell Savage. Eddie Jackson. I mean, these are guys I wouldn't be upset with having with Javon Holland back there. We do not have our strong safety, right? That we didn't sign him in Dane Belton, but we could bring him back. I do like other players out here, though. Like Jordan Whitehead would be fun. I mean, Jabril Peppers, bringing him back would be a good time as well. I like Lewis Seen when he came out of college. He just never found a fit. Him behind Newbin, maybe. Kevin King. Wow, Kevin King's still in the game? What the heck? Tavarius Moore, that was a cheat code in Madden. Ty Okada. Wow. We got to make some moves as far as kickers and stuff too. We got 3 kickers on the roster, so I got to make some decisions there. We do need a long snapper, so that's something we have to pay attention to there. You got some decent ones here that could work out for us. So I'm gonna start talking about some potential cuts, and then we'll jump into some signings. So we have 49 players on the roster, to include, right, the practice squad players. So a lot. This is insane. This is absolutely insane. Why do we have this many kickers? You got Ben Sauls, you got McKinney. Like, the way I kind of look at it is, I mean, you rock with Younghoe Koo and you're happy with it. Younghoe Koo is 32 years old. I mean, his accuracy is okay. I think you rock with Younghoe Koo. You let everyone else go. So we'll go ahead and release Graham Gano. 1.25 in free cap space, but we incur a penalty of 4.5. You just let it rock. Graham Gano is like a liability. Ben Sauls, he was picked up recently. I really don't care. We free up $400,000. And then you got McKinney, who's that international prospect. You just let him go. Find a little space here. You cut Bo Braid, gives us $1 million. Chris Board, although he's like a scheme fit, we save $2.3 million. Roy Robertson Harris would save us almost $3 million. And James Hudson would save us $3.2 million. As much as I am considering cutting Jalen Hyatt, this is a new regime. He does, like, Kubiak does take advantage of guys that could take the top off the team, off the safeties. Or in that defense, I'd say that we're going to let him try out. If he makes the team this year, he makes it. If he doesn't, you cut the guy and you save freaking $1.3 million in the preseason. So you see what you can do there. Eric Gray, 100% is a guy that I would probably release. You know, we save about $1 million there. So after it's all said and done, we have about $37.1 million in cap space. What I wanted to show, though, is if we needed some additional room, we could do it. We would restructure Dexter Lawrence's contract. That would give us $9.38 million. We could restructure Andrew Thomas's contract. That would give us $12.2 million. And we could restructure Brian Burns' contract, and that would give us an additional $15 million. So we got room if we need to pull those levers. But we got some money now. 27.1 gives us some room. Not a whole lot, but I think it gives us maybe about 32 million we got. But I'm going to try to see if we can fill this team up, fill this roster up, knowing where we stand. You're talking about a team here that now has 41 players on the roster. So time to make some moves. I'll let you know who we sign right after this. So to kind of keep going at our free agent market, we're going to go ahead and restructure Brian Burns' contract. Makes a whole lot of sense. This guy's a dog. I just realized he's an X factor now. I mean, he's the future. Like he's going to be just fine. He's only 28 years old. Probably play at this level probably for at least 3 more years. So we get 15 million set up here for our free agent market. So Deonte Banks is on the board here. I kind of want to see if anyone would like to trade for him. Looks like the Browns would be okay with taking him. The Saints are looking for a new corner, and the Vikings. That would be the stupidest trade right there, to trade Dallas Turner away. What are these trades, bro? I'm just looking at the teams. So do we send him to the freaking elephant graveyard of the Cleveland Browns and maybe get like a 5th round pick for him? I mean, that's not a bad move right there for the Browns. The Vikings don't have any picks, so that makes sense. Balin Spector, they don't have. So I'm going to try to see if I can send him to the Browns. They're the only teams that were offering anything. Realistically, I don't think you can get a 5th. I think realistically you can get like a 6th round pick for him, or potentially a 7th. I think what we could do to kind of, you know, we could say a 7th. And they got 3 5th round picks, so maybe for the Browns that kind of gives them a pick. So maybe we get another 5th rounder there, because when you look at their corner group, it's not too bad. They got Jacorian Bennett, they got Tyson Campbell and Ward, but they don't really have much after that. So they got a 5th round pick. They got 3, a little more capital. It helps us out. and Banks gets to head to another team. We're gonna go ahead and pull the next lever here, and this will be Dexter Lawrence. Yeah, Dexter Lawrence. That gives us 9.38 million extra space here. So here are the players that I decided to sign in this free agent market. I moved David Edwards to right guard. He actually can play everything in the interior line, so I thought that made sense for us. We have David Edwards starting as our right guard now. Picked up a good veteran, Andrew Wiley. That gives a chance for Marcus Mabo to kind of learn behind this veteran here, and hopefully he'll kind of keep it rolling there. Found a slot receiver, pretty much that is exactly like Wan'Dale Robinson. He's more of a gadget guy. I think he's even faster than Wan'Dale Robinson, and he is coming from a team that fits the McVay Shanahan scheme. So Tutu Atwell picked up a pretty solid scheme fit a corner coming over from the Seahawks. Ties to Kubiak there, that made sense. Found another slot corner here in Christian Izzian. He's coming over from the Bucks. Cheap deal, $3 million a year. We ended up picking up Azeez Ojulari. No freaking bonus. We'll see if he makes this team now. New group. I think there's a chance for him to see if he can come back to the Giants and do his thing. I liked Azeez Ojulari. He's more of a depth piece, and I think he can help us out there if something were to happen. Former first-round pick. I think Traylon Burks, $2 million deal, 1 year, $300K guaranteed. Not much of a risk there for us. This is a player I really am a fan of. You saw him in the preseason. 6 foot out of Penn State. Mitchell Tinsley's got some ridiculous hands, bro. If you go back and look at that preseason, he just hasn't had an opportunity because he's playing for the freaking Bengals, who's got T. Higgins and freaking Jamar Chase. Like, it's a ridiculous group there. So I think Mitchell Tinsley, he's kind of a sneaky grab. He's got good ability, and maybe he makes this team and works out for us. But we paid him a decent amount to where it would make sense to keep him for a cheap deal. Found some backup strong safety, Terrell Burgess. He comes over from the Rams, or former Rams. I think he played on the Saints for a little bit too, but I like Terrell Burgess. Scheme fit too helps us out. We find our long snapper we needed right there in Winchester. Jack Sanborn, Mike linebacker. I was looking for a Mike that was a decent player that could also handle the green dot if needed. And Jack Sanborn, he played for the Cowboys, I believe, last year. I think this guy's a good depth piece there behind Okereke. Helps us out in that space and allows us to work through it. Christian Harris coming over from the Texans. I think this guy's a freak. He was a player I wanted out of the draft, so the fact that the Texans let him go, I'm cool with us. That helps us out. I mean, these are 2 players here that could be the future there as long as they keep growing. I like Isaiah Hodgins, big target for Jackson Dart. Good release. Maybe he can help us out. Depth in the guard position, Dan Feeney coming over from the Bills. Jeremy Ruckert, basically just changing locker rooms, going to come over from the Jets. Bo Melton, the dude can play here and he can play a wide receiver if need be. So I can move him around in the depth chart, have him play on both sides. More than likely, he'll be depth on the corner and maybe he'll make it on the wide receiver group in some positions. Audric Estime fits us as far as the scheme fit. Dude is a dog, just didn't fit with the Broncos. They had too many mouths to feed there. It helps us out. He could potentially take over for Singletary if need be. Vidarian Lowe, this is a good backup tackle there. Good awareness. Coming from the Pats, just to me, he's a solid player. We didn't cost much, $2 million to bring him in. Cameron Latu, backup tight end, no guaranteed money. I think this is, again, another tight end that could help us out. Petit Foray, he was a former first-round pick or maybe second-round pick for the Titans, I believe. And third-round pick. I like Petit Foray. I just think he just never got a solid chance there and just didn't fit the scheme. And then Trey Dean, backup safety. I could see ourselves drafting a safety as well, but Trey Dean, he's got all the attributes to be a good, solid backup. So all in all, not too bad. We ended up with 61 players, I believe. So that gives us some room, right? To where some of these guys are going to try out, some of them are going to make it, but I'm not upset about that. You're talking about players that could really make it work. And at 61 players, that is not bad at all. Now, as far as players that were signed by the rest of the league, quarterback Marcus Mariota goes to the Steelers. Joshua Dobbs to the Jets. Gardner Minshew is a Jet as well. Tyler Algier going to the Steelers. You got Jalen Warren there, but they don't really have a number 2. I guess they don't like Caleb Johnson at all. Rachaad White to the Saints as Alvin Kamara got cut. Brian Robinson back to the Commanders. Crazy there. Keaton Mitchell to the Packers. DeMarcado to the Lions. I'm pretty sure Alvin Kamara got cut. Did he not get signed? He did not. Alvin Kamara is out there. Wow. Wide receivers, George Pickens is a Texan. So he stays in the state, but he took a bag. 5 years for $132 million. Wan'Dale Robinson goes to the Panthers. I mean, he got the money he wanted there too. 3-year deal, $38 million. Wish you the best of luck. Juju to the Falcons. Kendrick Bourne to the Jets. Naylor to the Eagles. Likely is a Commander. Font going to the Rams. And Bellinger is a Niner. Troutman is a Dolphin. So a lot of tight ends are out there. Left tackle, Jedrick Wills to the Niners. Braxton Jones to the Bills. And then you got Dooley as a Raven. Guards take Suamalo to the Lions. Jenkins is a Bronco. Corbett is a Packer. And Paul is a Bill. Connor McGovern to the Seahawks. Wattenberg is a Falcon. Meredith is a Bill. Cade Mays, Bronco. Layden Robinson goes to the Ravens. TJ Bass, the Titans. And Salier, a Bengal. Moton, great pickup right there. He's going to go to the Falcons. Havenstein goes to the Chargers. Illuminor is a Ram. He took a little bit less, but he wanted to go to the Rams. McKivitz back to the Niners. Thank goodness. That's the move. Jonah Williams to the Pats. Josh Jones to the Pats too. So back-to-back players, and Pipkins to the Panthers. Abedeki is a Patriot. AJ Epinesa is a Titan. He got some money. I'll take that. That's not bad, man. Almost $20 million. Heck yeah. DJ Reader is a Falcon. Poona Ford a Jet. Khalil Mack going to the Commanders. I mean, I think he's a solid player. Jalen Phillips, he didn't get paid that much. $35 million, 2-year deal to the Titans. I mean, they get an edge rusher. Is that going to be enough for them? Willie Gay to the Rams. Muma is a Saint. Taki is a Bronco. Nakobe Dean going to the Chargers. Cody Barton a Jet. Logan Wilson is Steeler. Kendricks is a Titan. Blake Cashman's a Bronco. Pace gets paid. He goes to the... He actually didn't get paid that much. $24 million for 4 years? $6 million? Man, we could have paid him. Ivan Pace would have been a sick player for the Giants. I just didn't think he fit us. Kendall Fuller is a Seahawk. Witherspoon a Panther. Taylor is a Steeler. Amik Robinson to the Titans. Brian Cook is a Charger. Hickman is a Jag. And Aloy Gilman goes to the Pats. Kobe Bryant to the Raiders. Wingard to the Niners. Quentin Lake is a Niner. Fuller is a Dolphin. Belton goes to the Jags. Simmons is a Panther. CJ GJ is a Commander. Kind of interesting there. A lot of kickers moving around too. Anyone do the weird stuff? And there it is. The weird stuff has occurred. 3 kickers on the Ravens. So stupid. What are we doing? Is that 2 freaking punters? What are y'all doing, bro? Gillikin and Stonehouse? Like, and then the Falcons said, nah, dude, we need punters. Crazy. So with the draft portion of this episode, I just want to show, the prospects that I'm potentially looking at, along with how we're going to set it up. So what I'd like to do is I will introduce like some of the prospects that I'm thinking about, but when it comes to the picks themselves, it'll probably just be the highlight of like, hey, here's the player I'm looking to do and why. Reason for that is just more of a timing kind of deal. Like, we got way too much time on this episode already, but there's some really good players that we're looking at. When you look at the quarterback ranges, right, there's only one person I was looking at, and it was more of an attribute situation. He's a day 3 QB, Taylon Green from Arkansas, 6'6", 224, 23 years old. The dude's an athlete, similar to what, you know, some attributes that you would see for Jackson Dart, but also, you know, this could be a decent backup down the road. We do have Hendon Hooker on the team, or excuse me, we do have, not Hendon Hooker, we have Jameis Winston on the team, but, you know, finding some depth right there isn't bad. And if things get great and he ends up being a pretty solid QB, maybe it's a trade piece down the road. As far as halfbacks are concerned, I'm looking at some mid-round to day 3 picks. We're looking at Barika Kapenu. I thought this guy from North Dakota State's kind of a sneaky move. He's got all the attributes to be a solid running back, and I believe he's even got some decent break tackle ability. He's got the trucking and the stiff arm, so you see something like that, right? It's similar to what we have already with Cam Skattebo. So we have Audric Estime here, but he's on a contract to pretty much, you know, he either makes it and survives or he's cut with no concern. Kaytron Allen from Penn State. I do like Nick Singleton, but again, it's about trying to find these power backs here that could be helpful for how we decide to run our ball there. You got CJ Baxter. Jaden Knott's more of a speedy guy, but all these guys are potentially scheme fits there. The wide receiver group, I'm looking at a couple. Carnell Tate is my main guy. He's the guy I want on this team no matter what, but there's this other guy here. He's being talked about right now in college, and he's kind of a sneaky grab. If he gets to the right team in real life, holy crap, will this guy be something else. Nick Harbor from South Carolina, 6'5", 235 pounds with a B release. The guy runs a 4.24 40, bro. At 6'5". Like, if you could get this guy and teach him how to catch appropriately, holy goodness. That gives us flexibility too, because if we decide to reach for Nick Harbor, I mean, Dewey, and grab him in the second round, like, how sweet would that be to have him on this team, you know? Him and as much, you know, we did sign quite a bit of wide receivers, but there's only 3 that are pretty much safe. I mean, you got Slayton and Atwell and stuff, and there's a chance if Nick Harbor if we draft him, I mean, I could trade Darius Slayton and Jalen Hyatt away. Tinsley, you know, none of these guys are really safe from a cap perspective. If they don't make the team, you cut them. Hodgins, Humphrey, Collins, like, you just move on. So this wide receiver group could be really solid if you have players like Nick Harbor and Carnell Tate, dude. That would be an insane group for the remainder of the future, like, of the Giants. They wouldn't have to draft anybody else, like, down the road. Maybe a kick returner or something like that, but nothing too crazy. There's only one tackle I saw that was reasonable, and that's Caleb Lomu. I mean, the chances of him making it out of the first round, though, are very rare, but, you know, it is what it is there. I looked at Logan Parr as the potential left guard. I think he's pretty solid. He's got all attributes that could work out, and he's day 3. He's going to be behind some of our guys, right? We got Sweeney as the backup there, or Runyon, but Logan Parr wouldn't be a bad player to have. I am looking at centers. We don't have a backup for JMS, so you see somebody like Brailford or Lou, Logan Jones. There's even some UDFAs that are interesting, like James Brockermeyer and Lyndon Cooper. Right guards, there's a couple here. I actually scouted this guy, and it turns out his overall is not so great, so maybe he falls to us in day 3 and we work with it. But Armaj Reed Adams, big dude coming from Texas A&M, would be pretty solid. And then I found a UDFA in Walker Parks that had some really good combine attributes. Right tackle is always going to be a focus, right? We need to make sure we're good there. But I found somebody here that I scouted in Emil Wagner, right tackle from Notre Dame. He's a scheme fit, which is something I want to look for. But he's got all the attributes to work out there, and he'll be behind Wiley, and hopefully he will succeed. But to grab him, we'd probably have to use a 3rd round pick. TJ Parker, Keldrick Falk, Bailey, usual suspects there that you would expect. But I was looking at Tyreek Sapp, mid-round pick here. He's got power move, finesse, and block shed. I think that could work out. As far as the right ends, Ungalele, Joshua Joseph from Tennessee, Derek Moore from Michigan is someone I'd really consider drafting. You always want to have flexibility when it comes to cap, right? You got Kayvon Thibodeau there that's on his 5th-year option now. If you decide to move on from him, man, you could do this. And here's my thing. I mean, if Derek Moore ends up being available, do you trade Kayvon Thibodeau now in the draft to grab a potential piece like that? I mean, you could trade Kayvon in the mid-rounds, in the middle of the year too, but that wouldn't be bad. Patrick Payton is another guy here, speed rusher from LSU, 6'6", 255. Just a freak. I mean, he's not going to be the strongest guy, but he doesn't need to be. If he has the finesse and the power rush to do something there, I mean, that's not a bad move down the road. Some DTs, always looking for DTs. We got some big dogs that are in this draft, but the guy that I was looking at was Aaron Graves from Iowa, nose tackle. He's got some power, some block shed, power move, finesse. These are initial moves that can really help us out. And I think, I didn't do anything there. Sam linebacker, the only one I saw was Lander Barton, another day 3 guy from Utah, 236, 6'5". Is just more of just a freak athlete. I like combine guys that can help us out. And that's the hope there, right? 4'5", 23 bench press. And he has a 36 vert. So one of the better combine scores right now for the Sam linebacker. Arvell Reese, CJ Allen. I mean, if these guys fall, great. I just don't see that happening for the Mike. The will linebacker, though, I would consider Harold Perkins. I'm a fan of Harold Perkins from LSU. I thought he was going to go out and be in the draft last year. But this guy has the ability to really help us out. Now, Harold Perkins, right, is a player that could transform our linebacking group in a very good way. We do got depth, right? And when it comes to our line, you got Sanborn and you got Harris. Doesn't mean like these guys are it. Muasau was a late round pick of the previous regime. Christian Harris is not costing us a whole lot of money. So you want to get linebacker depth where you can. If you can get one in an early part of the draft, I mean, why not? Why not try? As far as corners, I have a ton of corners on this board, and it's just more of just like the fact that they have the athleticism to recover and they are a scheme fit. So you got guys like Colin Wright in the later part of the draft in day 3. Takario Davis, I'm a fan of. I think this guy could really help us out on the outside space there. There's 4 corners on our depth chart that are kind of safe, or I would say 3 that are truly safe. If you count 4, it's kind of safe, while the rest are just depth. So if a rookie can beat those guys and make it, and we spend enough of the draft capital, I said, why the heck not? Why not get one of these guys? I don't know if Malik Mohammed makes this to us in the 2nd round, but that would be sweet. I don't think I looked at any free safeties, unfortunately. There wasn't anything that was appealing. You look Taafe and Rod Moore, but that's more of just the fact that they're a scheme fit. You look at the other ones right here, like King Mack, he would be a scheme fit, day 3 guy. A little smaller, which is tough, but you always try to find depth where you can and come from a good pedigree like Penn State. You got to be happy about that. But those is what we're doing. Those are the picks that we currently, or the prospects that we have on our board. Let's get to the draft. So what we're going to do here is, for the first round, we will look at the players that are being drafted. After that, in the 2nd round, we will call out, the players before us. And then after that, we will only talk about our picks. So just to kind of keep the timing of this right. So the first pick is up. The Saints are on the board, and they are going to take Peter Woods. Whoa! true. Oh yeah, they didn't need Francisco Mendoza anymore because they signed. Wait, they didn't get. Wait, what did they do? They're sticking with Spencer Rattler. They grabbed Peter Woods. I forgot we updated the roster for the Colts. So I don't know why I thought that they got. Yeah, they still got him. I don't know. Oh, he's a superstar now. Holy goodness, they're going to pay him. I don't know why I thought that the Saints had him, but the Saints don't have a quarterback. They're going to wait. Rattler and Shuck. Wow. Peter Woods. What a move. I mean, 2027, right? Like, you grab your guy there. I mean, can you be upset about that? The Titans are up. They already got their quarterback, so they're going to go edge rusher Reuben Bain Jr. That's a really good move for them. I believe they have an edge rusher in the off-season free agent market. I think they picked up somebody. They picked up AJ Epinesa and Jalen Phillips. And they have Arden Key. Wow. So they're loading up on their edge rushers. Great job right there for the Titans. The Commanders are up and they go edge rusher TJ Parker. Good move there. Now the Browns, they need a quarterback. Does Mendoza fit them? They don't. They go Keldrick Falk. What the heck is going on here? What is going on? So Mendoza is still out there, and there is needy teams that, like QB needy teams right now behind us. You're talking about the Jets, the Dolphins. Like, what do you do here? Let's double check it real quick. So the Jets and the Dolphins, this is where we could farm a pick and potentially get a third rounder, right? So the Jets, they got Fields. They signed him. So they don't necessarily need a QB. I mean, that's stupid. That's stupid, dude. Why would you do that? Okay, let's see what the Dolphins. Would the Dolphins want to move up for a QB? I mean, you got Tua Tagovailoa, and that's pretty much it. Wow. Who's another team that would need a quarterback? I don't know if the Rams would need a QB because the Rams, they still got Stafford. So, I mean, they could hire heir apparent. Do the Cardinals try to move up? Would the Cardinals try to move up? What do they got? I mean, they got Brissett and they got Kyler Murray. I mean, man, this is insane. And then the Raiders need a QB, right? You would think they would. Yeah, they got Geno and that's it. So, I mean, if the Jets, the Dolphins, or the Raiders are willing to trade us, or the Cardinals are willing to trade it, those are the four teams, I'll trade with them. Let's see if they're willing to do with it, and we'll just manipulate the capital there. Browns, they got their pick there. They'll give us a third. Buccaneers, they'll move back, and then they'll give us their first this year, first next year, second this year, third next year. They would give us a first and third to move back. That's not enough. Seahawks, first this year, next year, fourth and seventh next year. Commanders, nah. Rams, not enough. Raiders, so Raiders would like to trade with it, but they would give us all of their picks next year in the 6th and 7th. So knowing that, I would say, I wonder if there's a way we can move with them, get like their first and third, or first, second, or something like that. Maybe we'll even throw in a player to kind of mix it up too. New England Patriots, which give us their future picks. No thanks there. Lions, no thanks. The Jets are on the board, so they would want to give us a late first, a second round pick, a fourth, fifth. So we could, okay, so the Jets are on the options right there. The Dolphins are an option right there. And then the Colts. So what I'd like to do is probably, when we look at the board there, the Jets are right next to us. I I mean, if someone jumps them, who would likely want to jump them? And the Raiders, the Jets have the most capital. Let's see what the Jets need. Like, I'm thinking about something right now as far as, do they need a wide receiver? So you got Jahan Dotson there, Kendrick Bourne, so they don't have much. Let's look at the Cardinals. Cardinals have, yeah, they're fine. Raiders. Do the Raiders need a wide receiver? They don't have much. So if we trade back with the Raiders, we got to look at their picks here, see what they got. So they got a third, they got 2 4s, 2 6s. So if they move back and he jumps everybody, the Raiders could potentially get their QB, and then the cards will fall there. I mean, the Jets were projected, I believe, when we look at the board. I think, can we see that? We can't even see the board anymore. I mean, can we see the board? Let me look real quick. Oh, we can't see the board. I'm pretty sure Sellers was up there as well. The Dolphins, I don't think the Dolphins have enough picks. So the Dolphins, they have 3 3s. So if we took their first, we took their 7s, I mean, we took their 3s, it could work out. I mean, Tyreek Hill is still there. He's rocked. They're going to keep him. Jalen Waddle. They don't necessarily need a wide receiver. Do they need an edge rusher? I mean, kind of, not really. So the Dolphins are an option there. I mean, you look at some of the pieces that we have. I think this could be the move here. Which team would likely want to trade up? And we're going to make the move with the team that I think is going to give us the most capital. So I'm going to try something real quick. So this is the picks I'm looking to do here, or the trade I'm looking to do. The Raiders need a quarterback. Getting their 2nd round pick, I don't know if that's going to be possible. We get a 3rd round, which I really want, and we get a 1st round next year. They get to move in front of 2 teams that need a quarterback. The Raiders, the Dolphins and the Jets. They both need quarterbacks, but the Raiders at that point get the option to trade ahead, to draft ahead of them and get the quarterback that they want. I think this is a fair trade here. It helps us out, and I think this is a good move for us and for them. So the trade is in. We move back 4 spots, and the Raiders get to choose their guy. Let's see who the Raiders take here. The Raiders take Dante Moore. They go after the QB, Dante Moore, not Francisco Mendoza. Now the Jets have all the freaking leverage here. This is crazy. Did they get Mendoza, though? Did they go to Lenoris Sellers? They take Lenoris Sellers, so Mendoza falls. He continues to fall. Oh, man. Lenoris Sellers is... wow. Let's see what the Dolphins do. They go Ty Simpson. What the hell's going on? All these guys you'd expect them to trade for. Mendoza is not there. Dante Moore, Lenoris Sellers, Ty Simpson. What is going on here? Vikings are up and they're going to take Caleb Downs. So the Giants have another opportunity to move back a little bit. Who could we move with? I mean, we could move back a little bit more. We would get a future 3rd. The Vikings say, hey, man, we'll give you a 2nd. I ain't doing that. We'd move back 15 spots. We would get a 2nd round this year as well, a 4th this year, and a 6 and 7. I mean, the Commanders... Nope. The Raiders are saying, hey, man, we want more. The Niners, nope. I mean, the Falcons, they're willing to give us a bunch of future picks. No way in the Eagles. Dolphins, they give us a first round next year. But yeah, that's not worth it. That's not worth it. So none of the trades make sense here as far as the players. I think we make our move when we make our selection. As much as some of these guys are available, right? And these guys are really good. Spencer Fano, solid. I mean, you could take the right tackle now. You could take the right tackle now and rock with the wide receiver later. If you take the tackle now, I mean, Tate looks to be very viable in the second round. We do have our second there to grab our guy. I mean, realistically, would he fall that far? Probably not, but I mean, Mendoza's still out there. So there's a chance we could get, I mean, if anything, Nick Harbor wouldn't be bad in the third round either if he falls to us. So I really like Carnell Tate, but I see the O-line. Spencer Fano is up there. I mean, you got Maui Goa as well. Arvell Reese. I mean, do you transform your defense now? And you say, we're rocking with Arvell Reese, which then gives us the opportunity, right, to trade away Bobby Okereke. If you trade Bobby Okereke away, you get more picks if you grab Arvell Reese. Arvell Reese is a dog. I mean, it's possible that you could get Arvell Reese and Carnell Tate in the same draft. It depends. I mean, kind of, but you could get Arvell Reese and freaking Nick Harbor too. So, I mean, do you transform this team with the wide receiver now, or do you grab a defensive player that could truly make or break your team here? Like, this would be insane. If we had Arvell Reese, Abdul Carter, Kayvon Thibodeau, and Brian Burns with Dexter. I mean, that front seven is set for at least 3 years or more. I mean, that would be insane. I think that's a great decision here. He's one of the best players in the draft. Like, if not the best player in the draft. I think you take him. We need a mic. Welcome to the team, Arvell Reese. A+, 25 in true talent, drafted him at 9. Hidden dev. This guy has the ability to be amazing. He's only 20 years old, folks. He could do it all. He could do it all. Knowing that, now when we head to the later part of the, like day two, like in the day 2, I could trade Okereke maybe for some picks down the road, and I'll be okay with that. The next pick is up here for the line. The Bears, they go Caleb Banks, defensive tackle there. The Rams go Spencer Fano. The Chargers are going to take Jermod McCoy. Bengals take Francis Maui Goa there. The Cardinals take David Bailey, left edge. Fernando Mendoza is a Steeler. Woo, he gets to stay in the Midwest. That's actually kind of cool right there. That's actually a great pick for them. Wow. Texans are up. They're going to take Amari Washington, defensive tackle. Cowboys are up, pick 17. One of their first of their first round picks today. They go Caden Proctor. The Panthers are up and they go Jennings Dunker. Mateo Ungalele goes to the Ravens. You got Caleb Lomu to the Browns. The Niners take Kenyon Sadiq. George Kittle retired in this series. So snagging up a versatile tight end, that's a move, man. That's a good move right there. LT Overton. So they went back to back. Oh no, they went left edge. So they went left tackle first and then edge for their first 2 picks there. The Cowboys don't have much. Evason Terrell to the Chiefs there. Lions are up. They go Cassius Howell. Seahawks are up. They're going to go Christian Miller And the second first round pick for the Rams is going to be Connor Lew. So they update that O-line, and they're just going all in with freaking Stafford there. Anthony Hill, their second first round pick for the Jets, is a Mike linebacker. The Patriots go Mansour Delane. The Broncos are going to take Isaiah World. The Eagles will take Dominic Orange, defensive tackle. Buccaneers take CJ Allen, Mike linebacker. And the Bills are going to take, I think that was Loon. Are they going to show that? CJ Allen to the Bucks. And then the Buffalo Bills, they are taking, Loane from Penn State. What a move right there. Upgrading their O-line. That's a decent move for the Bills. Now the Saints are up. I could potentially see wide receivers going here. Let's see what happens. They go Garrett Nussmeier. So they grabbed their quarterback. They went for a defensive tackle. They said, we'll wait for the remaining of the QBs. They go a second round pick again. Makai Lemon to the Titans. Wow, him falling this far is insane, but the wide receivers have fallen. Dylan Thieneman to the Texans. The Browns are taking Jordan Tyson, and we are up, and this is our opportunity. We grabbed the wide receiver that we wanted. He fell to us. You got to be happy about that. Carnell Tate's a dog. He fits with what we need. He could do exactly what we need him to do there. I think this is a player that can complement Malik Neighbors, and I think you're okay. He's only 21 years old as well. You make it work. You do your thing. Welcome to the team. Carnell Tate, 19 in true value. We drafted him at 37. Could this happen in real life? Potentially. People do weird stuff in the draft, man. There's a lot of there's a lot of teams that need a ton of stuff, and snagging up Arvo Reese, now Carnell Tate here, is a steal, folks. Holy hell, did we do good here. The Jets are up, and we'll see what they decide to do here. They got 2 second round picks. They go Denzel Boston. The Dolphins are up. They're going to go Kevin Concepcion, wide receiver, and Sonny Styles. So we're going to go ahead and skip it now, see where we're at for our third round. So in the third round, players like Derek Moore have been drafted ahead of us. I like Derek Moore. He was on my board for sure. Brailford, the center, was on my board. You're looking at Blake Miller, the right tackle, was another guy I was looking at. So we don't really have much that I can think of here, but Zachariah Branch is on this board here. He's the best player on the board at this time. We could go after Dominique Jackson if we wanted to. I just don't see what we could do here. I want a corner. I want a corner. Let's look at the combine here real quick. As far as the corners are concerned, Nick Harbor's still there. Do you take Nick Harbor? How insane would that be to go after Nick Harbor right there? Josh Moten. This would be the most incredible draft, because at that point, you grab Nick Harbor, you basically have wide receivers set. You could trade Darius Slayton and you could trade Okereke in this draft and not sweat. That is a crazy group right there. We're going to see if maybe we can trade back, right? This is a new regime. Maybe you can get some more picks down the road and kind of make sure you're set for the future here. Third, so we move back and we get a fifth, we get a seventh. We don't have a seventh. Nothing crazy. Do you go after Nick Harbor now? What's out there? So I am looking at corners And this was someone, a person we scouted. He's basically within the projection that we're at right now. You take him. He's got all the attributes to do what you need to do. He's got the depth to help us out down the road. He doesn't need to be a starter now. We got Flott. You got a Debo. You got other players like Josh Jobe and stuff. So I don't think we need to get crazy with it. But this is a good piece right here for us. Realistically, it helps us out. I'd love to get Nick Harbor. I just don't. I mean, if you fall so in the fourth, you take him. But I think Nick Harbor, Dominique Jackson is what we need. 98 in true value. We drafted him at 73. Elite top end speed, shows instinct, sometimes loses receivers in man coverage, but we play zone. That's our focus. And that is a ridiculous freaking set of attributes right there. 96 speed, change of direction 90, acceleration 95. Solid. So we are in the fourth round now. And looks like Cade Klubnik is the backup for the Texans. Eli Stowers to the Titans. Suntarini Perkins, Will linebacker to the Browns. I mean, is Nick Harbor still there? He is, dude. How do you freaking do this? This is crazy. Nick Harbor is a dog. 6'5", 235. We're going to have the most ridiculous set of weapons for Mr. Jackson Dart. I mean, Tutu Atwell is going to be a 4. I'm going to be trading Darius Slayton right now. You trade Slayton get him off the team. You trade Okereke, get him off the team now. You trade Slayton now for sure. We get like a 7th round pick for him. I think you do what you got to do there. This guy's good. Oh my gosh, he fell to us. We got the most legit wide receiver group like this is the best draft I've ever had. 113 in true value, drafted him at 101. He's a speed burner. He's got Norm Dev, but what the hell, bro? How do you freaking do this? Nick Harbor is a dog. What the heck? All right, so what we're gonna do is, like we said we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and trade Darius Slayton away. We'll see who is looking for a wide receiver. I mean, you get this guy off the team now, and you see what's out there. So the Broncos say, hey man, we'll give you some 7th round picks. The Broncos, let's see what the Broncos have real quick as far as wide receivers. We're gonna send them to the Browns. They don't have any wide receivers. Do they have any draft picks? Oh my gosh, they don't have a pick until the 5th. All right, so we will send them Darius Slayton. We'll give him a 7th next year. 7th this year. We'll trade for a 7th this year. And I think that's fair. So Darius Slayton heads to the Browns. We get a 7th round pick. So we're going to keep it rolling here. We'll see what happens in the next pick. We have 2 5s. Our first pick out of this one here. Who is still out there? You got Colin Wright still out there. Katron Allen is still out there on our board. I mean, these are all very solid plays for us. I think when it comes down to it, you take a tackle that is the right fit for us. He's 22 years old. He's going to grow behind Wiley. That helps us out. He's an athletic freak and he's a scheme fit. You take what you need here. Emil Wagner. 60 in true value. We drafted him at 133. Played basketball for 2 years, a polished pass protector. Again, this is a pretty solid draft for the Giants right now. Holy crepe. So our second 5th round pick here, you got CJ Baxter available. You got Jaden Ott. I mean, we can go center here for Logan Jones. Grab our guy there that we need. I mean, these are not bad decisions right here. I think you take what you can get. I think with where we stand here, do we need a center more than a halfback? I think we do. He's 24 years old, though. That's the tough part. 24 years old. I mean, there's a guy, Landon Cooper, who is 23. mean, you could take Aaron Graves here. He's a day 3 guy, nose tackle. We could build up that DT group. Do we need a DT? Not necessarily. I mean, but this guy was the athletic freak when it came to the defensive tackles there. We could go free safety, which we definitely need. Michael Ta'afe from Texas, Rod Moore from Alabama. These are all day 3 guys that can help us out here. Jaden Ott, CJ Baxter was his combine. I mean, this guy's really good. We're gonna go ahead and take him here. CJ Baxter helps out our halfback group. I think you make it work right there. 6'1", 227. He's gonna compete with Audric Estime, even Tyrone Tracy too. I think you make it work there. CJ Baxter from Texas, welcome to the team. 103 in true value. We drafted him at 141. He's got a spin move. He rarely fumbles. 91 speed, 94 acceleration. Solid, solid, solid. So Logan Jones ends up getting drafted by the Commanders right before us. So what is out there here in the 6th round? This guy's got all the attributes and he's a freak athlete. I like Aaron Graves. I'm going to take him here. Nose tackle. 23 years old though, but again, you grow this D-line. You grow the defense where you can. 78 in true value. We drafted him at 165. Holy crepe. Hidden dev. That's a good set right there for speed and acceleration and the strength. That's going to help us out so much in this upcoming preseason or regular season. I didn't realize we had another 6th round pick. So we went for him. What else is out there? I mean, you take the corner and I think you're okay with it. Josh Moten. We wanted him. We just didn't think about grabbing him. His strength is poor, but what's his tackle like? Does he have decent tackling? It's a C. I mean, that's not bad for a freaking corner there. Lacks discipline, resulting in voidable. I mean, you grow this out, you make it work. I think Josh Moten is our guy. 222 in true value, drafted with 177. Average recognition leads to inconsistent play. I mean, good, dude. What the heck? These guys are yoinked, dude. What the heck? That's a really good player. So we got a 7th round pick that we traded, right? We traded Darius Slayton away. You are looking at, you know, I don't know if we even have any players on our board left. These are all like later round guys. I was looking at Walker Parks as a backup guard. I was looking at Lyndon Cooper and James Brockmeyer. James Brockermeyer looked like one of the better freaking centers in the draft. You take a backup, you see if he can do some stuff with B awareness. That is not a bad freaking move right there. I was also looking at the tight end, John Michael Gillenborg. He's a good blocking tight end. He's strong as heck. He's one of the faster ones. He's a freaking solid tight end. His catching's all right, but we don't need a versatile tight. We have that. We need a guy that can just be more of a possession catch kind of dude. Helps us with the blocking and helps us get down the field. That's not a bad move too. So Brockermeyer or Gillenborg. I mean, David Edwards is versatile too. We could move him in if we need to. And then we got backups like Keene that could work with the right guard if need be. So the veteran group is still there. You can even use the rookie we drafted too to play in the guard position if need be. Even Wiley can play right guard too. So, I mean, the tight end group is still got a lot of work. And we didn't spend a whole lot on it. We really didn't. We didn't spend much in the tight end group. But I think you gotta go for depth. And James Brockmeyer, 23 years old, out of Miami, 108 in true value. We drafted him at 217. Holy crap, did we find our gem here? He's a normal dev, but that's a great start right there for the freaking Giants, dude. They had an incredible draft. So we have 68 players now on the roster. Kind of crazy right there. It looks like a trade might have happened. Let's see what happened here. Let's look at the trades. So looks like a couple players got traded during or right after the draft. So Julian Blackmon gets traded to the Jets for Braylon Allen. They do need a running back. So the Jets traded a future, like a 2028 fifth, and Braylon Allen, and they brought in a strong safety. He's pretty solid, Julian Blackmon. The Browns also traded, they traded the, now would be considered the current 5th and 7th, along with defensive tackle Mike Hall to the Seahawks. And in return, they get Uchenna and Wosu. The Saints trade Danny Stutzman and a 2028 6th. And in return, the Eagles trade Michael Carter. Wow. Wow, dude. What? Like, those are kind of like good depth moves right there. I can't complain. So let's check out our draft. How did we do? We ended up getting Arvell Reese, which I think is the most ridiculous thing to happen for us. To have a player like Arvell Reese, you pretty much have the ability to move this guy from the Mike over to the Will, and he could start alongside Okereke, or he could start ahead of Okereke. We then grabbed Carnell Tate in the 2nd round, who I think is going to be a legitimate freaking wide receiver 2 for us, or 1B. We then go after Dominique Jackson, who's a norm dev, but has all the abilities to do what he needs to do for the Giants. Not necessarily a scheme fit, but I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And then we snagged who I think is going to be a shocker here. He's norm dev, but Nick Harper, which he actually spells his name interesting here. It's N-Y-C-K. I think he's going to be the beast that no one is expecting. We're going to see a lot of Nick Harper in this upcoming season for sure. Getting these two players sets us up. He's only a 73 overall, but then we grabbed Emil Wagner, who's a 75 overall. So now we have a tackle that we can grow alongside our O-line there. And then grabbing CJ Baxter, 73 overall. I think this is a solid freaking running back for us. He's going to take a lot of reps in the preseason, and there's a chance that he can take over. Aaron Graves is going to be pretty solid for us. He's competing already with the guys that are on the depth. Darius Alexander is going to have a run for his money there for DT2. Josh Moten, you know, a little bit of a fall, 69 overall from Southern Miss, but he's got the scheme fit that we need, and he could be a good depth piece for sure. He'll be competing for that like CB 5-6. And then we grabbed a center here. I can't believe he fell. James Brockermeyer, 73 overall from Miami. So we have the backup for JMS if need be, and that is a very good group of guys right there. If we were to just look at the team real quick before we head to the rest of the draft, man, this is what it would look like. Let's check it out. So Tate right now, because Neighbors is hurt, it'd be Tate and Neighbors. Atwell's there, Traylon Burks, Tinsley, he's going to have an opportunity to play. Nick Harbor, that's a very solid group of yeah, we did get Latu though, and Ruckert, so didn't necessarily need a tight end, but maybe we find him in the preseason, the UDFAs. This is what the defense would look like. Arvell Reese would be the Sam at that point then. Christian Harris is the Will. This is what it could look like. How insane would that be? That is a crazy group right there. And then you get Graves, Darius, like this D-line looks incredible now. Kayvon Thibodeau's gonna have to fight to get on the team, get on the board. But if we move Kayvon here, or we moved Kayvon here, that is a ridiculous front seven. And then the corner group with Cordell Flott and Paulson Adebo, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. The other corners will get their reps, but I mean, we got a good group of corners now. We really set this team up to succeed, And I'm pretty happy about it. We're going to see Nick Harbor playing freaking... What? That's great. And Bo Melton can be out there too. I forgot I got other guys in the depth like Bo Melton on this team. This is a very good group, man. Tutu Atwell is going to play the slot. You got Tinsley who can play in the slot. We got some depth now, folks. This is going to be a fun season. When you look at the rest of the league, I just want to look at my division opponents there. Let's see where the Eagles stood. They got Dominique Orange, 75 overall. Jacoby Lane, he's the big like 6'4", 6'5" wide receiver there. They grabbed Trevor Goodsby, left tackle. Damon Claiborne, halfback. Armaj Reed Adams in the 5th round. And then they grabbed Bo Prabula as a backup QB. TJ Parker for the Commanders, followed by Chris Johnson. Then they grabbed Taylor Green, who I wanted. I just didn't want him in the 4th. I mean, he's pretty solid, but that's a good backup QB. Logan Jones, 6th round pick there, 73 overall. They grabbed Trey Moore. I was looking at this guy. I like Trey Moore from Texas. I think he could be a really good player. Anthony Smith behind him. And then it's the Commanders, the Eagles, and the I missed the Cowboys. Cowboys only had 4 picks, but they made their work. Caden Proctor, 80 overall. Overton, left edge, 77. Deion Burks from Oklahoma, solid wide receiver from Oklahoma. And then Rod Moore. So, I mean, they did a little damage with the players with the picks that they had. I think for us, we had a very healthy draft. Best players in the draft, Jeremiah Love to the Texans. That is a crazy move. The fact that he fell there is insane. That is insane that he fell there. 82 overall. Caleb Downs to the Vikings. That's disgusting. Ruben Bain to the Titans. Peter Woods getting drafted right there. Saints really changed it up. Denzel Boston to the Jets in the 2nd round. Like he's ridiculous out of Washington. Jordan Tyson fell to the 2nd round. Spencer Fano to the Rams. I mean, you got Jermod McCoy to the Chargers. Francis Mauigoa to the Bengals. Arvell Reese falling to us is the most stupidest thing. I can't wait to see this guy play, man. Arnell Tate was behind. These are the same overalls. Concepcion's the same thing, but the Dolphins loaded up there. You got Ty Simpson and Concepcion now. Malik Muhammad fell in the 2nd round. I really thought about Malik Muhammad, but Carnell Tate is a necessary need. I mean, technically we could have let Tate fall and then we would have rocked with Nick Harbor in the 4th round. I can't. Carnell Tate's like my favorite player in the draft. I want him on the Giants. Like, we got to keep him. Now, to get Arvell Reese, Carnell Tate, and Nick Harbor on the same team is kind of stupid, but hey, man, that ain't my deal. That ain't my deal. So with 7 spots on the roster, I'll talk about the players that we're going to add for the remainder of the spots that are out there. We're going to pick up Kyle McCord just to help us out during the preseason there. Backup QB helps us out. Looking at right guard here, UDFA Tegra Shabola from Ohio State. I mean, 68 overall. Decent stats. His awareness is atrocious, but we can grow that. Left edge from Arizona, Trey Smith, 22 years old, 82 power move. I think this guy could maybe be a person that could fall onto the depth chart there and make the 53. Looking at defensive tackle, Dominic Williams from Oklahoma, 6'1", 323, 84 block shed, 76 power move. He has a chance to compete with the best of them in that spot. Looking at Will linebacker, Jalen Sneed, decent speed, coming over from Notre Dame, 22 years old. I think that's a good move for us. Zeke Berry, strong safety. I think that gives us an opportunity to kind of find some depth in the free safety. And the other cat is out of Missouri, so that was a strong safety on the last one. Jalen Catalone from Missouri, 69 overall, He's a scheme fit, or kind of. I don't know what this means. Like, he's a free safety. He's supposed to be a zone scheme fit. They should have put the piece there. Weird they didn't show that, but we'll take that. So we are currently at 75. That is where we will leave it. Our salary, like our cap, is pretty healthy now. I believe we have about 19.4 million in cap space. Rookie reserves is 25.6, so we're kind of in the negative there. We did have a cap penalty, right? We cut Darius Slayton, which I think made some moves there for us that we have to kind of work through there. But all in all, it's a very solid group of players. Looking forward to seeing how we're going to do this in the preseason. I mean, maybe we show some highlights, maybe we don't. I don't know if I'm going to do that. It's just really tough. It's really tough to kind of figure out how to mix that up. This team's got some really good pieces now, though. I'm pretty happy about that. Knowing that we have flexibility for the future, we have potential. Like, we're continuing to grow the youth movement. And if we could find some pieces behind some of these guys that are getting a little older, this can help us out. But man, this team looks way different now than we had before. Yeah, you got a bunch of guys that aren't necessarily going to make it. There's going to be a fight for the DT spot. Arvell Reese can play that mic, sure. Oh my gosh, dude. We can play Sam now. Shoot. And then the corners are healthy. Like, this is actually a good mix. Now, whether these guys all succeed or not, yeah, we'll see. But we got a healthy group of depth now that I think, you know, as long as Kubiak can lead them, I think we're going to be okay. But that'll do it for us today, everybody. If you like what you saw, please drop a like, leave a comment, tell me what you think. And most importantly, subscribe to keep up with the series. I appreciate everyone that stopped by today. Y'all have yourself a good one. And as always, let's go Big Blue.